Hello there, welcome back to My Views and News, an exclusive video for you on Eritrean President Isaias Afwerki's smart move in Russia. Isaias Afwerki and other African leaders were in St. Petersburg, Russia, where today Russia-Africa summit was held. Putin held bilateral meetings too with African leaders, and then summit was also held. Eritrean president gave a 15-minute lecture to Putin, president of Russia. What did he say? I'll sum up what Isaias Afwerki meant, or what was his real intention when he was lecturing the Russian president. He is playing it smart, by the way, but he was facing President Putin, a chess player who knows perhaps more than Isaias about global politics. But Putin very patiently listened to Isaias Afwerki's 15-minute long talk. What did Isaias Afwerki say? And why am I saying that Isaias is playing it very smart? Isaias Afwerki started his talk with Putin by saying that Putin should build a narrative at this Russia-Africa summit, narrative about Russia-Ukraine war. He said, the war is not between Russia and Ukraine. The war is between Russia and hegemonic powers of the world, West and US. Western power, US, they want to create a unipolar world. They want to put an end to opposition. That is why they're using Ukraine as a ground. Purpose is to crush Russia. Russia, which is opposing global unipolar order. So Isaias directed Putin that Putin should build this narrative at the summit. I think this bilateral meeting between Putin and Isaias Afwerki was held before the start of the summit. And then Isaias claimed that NATO is finished. It is in intensive care. European Union finished too. That is Isaias Afwerki's estimate of NATO and EU. He criticized Russia, by the way. On 2 points, he criticized Russia. Criticized Russia to Putin's face, sitting in front of Putin. He said, Russia did not prepare. Western powers, US, were preparing to corner Russia. Russia did not prepare. Secondly, he criticized what happened when the USSR broke up. He said Russian leaders made mistakes. Breakup of the USSR was a global tragedy because USSR was the hope for the world. The world lost hope after USSR was disintegrated. Then he said that after Russia, next target of these hegemonic powers is going to be China through Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, India. China will be encircled. So what is needed? He said that Russia should lead the world. It's a historical mission which Putin should lead. He said, I am not flattering, but Putin should lead the world. And that can only happen through planning, through strategies. Strategize how to counter hegemonic powers of the world. Make strategies, give timelines, start implementing, and make strategy about each and every sector. Build an alternative financial structure independent from dollar and euro. That is the way forward. And what Russia is doing, what Russia is fighting in Ukraine, it's not fighting for itself. It's fighting for the entire world. Then he talked about bilateral cooperation. He said, he talked about Eritrean relations with the West too, that the West bullied Eritrea, it imposed sanctions on Eritrea, but Eritrea did not bow down to the hegemonic powers. Eritrea will keep on defying. And then he mentioned areas of cooperation between Eritrea and Russia. He said more than a decade ago, plans were made about bilateral cooperation. Eritrea and Russia can cooperate in the fields of agriculture, industry, tourism, mining, water resources, etc. Eritrea needs technical help from Russia. And he talked about money too. Very important point. Does Eritrea have the resources to implement joint projects with Russia in Eritrea? He said, we'll mobilize each and every penny that we have. That is what we can say. But we should cooperate in each and every sector of the economy, build an alternative financial structure. Now, let me sum up a little and let me give you my analysis. Once again, Isaias is playing it very smart. That is what he said when he visited Russia and China a few months ago. He was the one who spoke about New World Order in China. He was the one who spoke about New World Order in Russia. Back then, no one questioned, no one asked questions about the need for a New World Order. But he was the one who raised this point. Why? And again, Eritrea knows that if a strategy is formed for a broad cooperation between Russia and the rest of the world to counter Western powers, Eritrea would be a major beneficiary. Because Eritrea does not have any strategic ties with the US and West. Under sanctions, cut off from the world, cut off from SWIFT. Its economy dependent on remittances and mining. So, no industry. It is hoping, it is trying to instigate, by the way, it is trying to instigate China and Russia separately, though it wants them to join. It is instigating them to build an alternative world, alternative new world order. Why? Because if this new alternative financial system is established, Eritrea would gain a lot from this system. And he did not say a word about military cooperation. He did not say that African countries and Russia and China should have joint militaries. No. His entire focus was on cooperation in fields of agriculture, industry, tourism, mining, energy, etc. Why? Because these sectors are where Eritrea wants external involvement for progress. So he's playing it very smart. He's instigating two world powers, China and Russia. He's trying to use them for some domestic benefits. He's telling them that we are with you. What can Eritrea do for Russia? Nothing. Eritrea can only vote for Russia at UN platforms. That is what it has been doing since the start of Russia-Ukraine war. But Russia can help Eritrea a lot. Russian technological support, Chinese technological support, economic support matters a lot for Eritrea if the two countries start supporting Eritrea. That is why Isaias Afwerki built a case for a new world order. Very shrewd politician, I would say. Isaias Afwerki knows that if he projects Putin as on a historical mission, obviously Putin would feel that his global stature is being acknowledged by African leaders. And that is why maybe Putin announced free wheat for Eritrea. Putin announced free wheat for Eritrea, Somalia, I think, Zimbabwe, Mali, and some other countries too. I think 6 countries he named. Because in all these 6 countries, leadership is very loyal to Russia, China too. We've seen at UN platforms that Eritrea openly stood with Russia. So once again, I would say Isaias Afwerki played it very smart at Russia-Africa summit and in bilateral meetings. But how to estimate Putin's response? I personally think Russia is not in a position to offer a lot to Africa because Russia is fighting a war. Obviously, its economy is shrinking. Ukrainian economy is shrinking more than Russian economy, but everyone knows that Russian economy is shrinking. How can Russia support Africa in present circumstances? How can Russia invest in Africa? Russia can only offer technological support. That is what Isaias Afwerki is hoping to get. Where will he get money from? Obviously, projects, implementation of projects needs money too. I think he hopes that he'll get technological assistance from Russia, maybe financial assistance from China. He has a plan in mind, by the way. He is completely focused on internal situation in Eritrea. I've been saying for the past 6 months that after Pretoria deal, Isaias Afwerki shifted his attention towards internal situation of the country. He wants to do something to make Eritrean economy progress. And that is why he's visiting the 2 countries. He visited China, Russia. He has a plan in mind. He wants the support of these 2 countries and maybe support of some Arab countries too and diaspora involvement. Let's see how Russia, China respond. But I would sum up that Isaias played it very smart at this summit. Is Putin smarter than Isaias Afwerki? That we'll see in coming weeks and months. Thanks for watching.